Hey guys, welcome to Bolt from the Blue Tarot. My name is Sam. I'm an intuitive, a tarot card reader, and sometimes I read oracle decks, do some divination from books, and from some storytelling cards. So that's what I've got lined up for you today, and we're going to hop into your reading. We're starting with Wisdom from the Epics of Hind. These are some stories from the Hindu tradition. All right off the bat. Duryodhana's jealousy. Check out that green energy. More? All right, we're reading from the book. Duryodhana. Let me give you guys this to look at while I read from the book. Duryodhana's jealousy. Duryodhana was the eldest of 101 children of the blind king Dεηsity. Sorry, guys. He was a capable, agile, strong-bodied warrior with all the makings of a powerful king. But he was also very jealous as a person and was under the maleficent guidance of his cunning maternal uncle, Shakuni. As a child, under Shakuni's influence, he had tried to poison and kill his cousin, Bhima, who used to frequently bully him. Owing to his blindness, Dhritarashtra had to give up his throne to his younger brother, Pandu. Pandu could not have children, and his wife Kunti had to use her boons to have children, the Pandavas with gods. We know about Kunti and her boons. We've pulled that on the channel before. Duryodhana argued that the throne was rightfully his father's, and therefore he should be made king. Besides, the Pandava brothers were not children of the family by birth. Even though his reasoning was right, his bitter rivalry with his cousins caused a lot of unpleasantness within the family. Eventually, Duryodhana was made king of Hastinapur. The Pandavas were given a small piece of land away from the main kingdom, where their eldest Pandava, Yudhishthira, was crowned king. Over time, Yudhishthira and his kingdom flourished, while Duryodhana and his kingdom started performing poorly. Blinded by rage and jealousy, Duryodhana plotted against the Pandavas, which spiraled out of control and culminated with the Mahabharata war. Okay. Quite the political tale there. Doesn't he just sort of look like someone who would make a lot of noise at the gym? That's the energy I get from him. It's like, you don't have to be this way, but you choose to for some reason. All right, let's see what here's for you guys. Do you have a tendency to feel envious? If you are feeling envy, acknowledge it, learn from it, and work on improving yourself. I would say, work on that, healing that, rather than just like do better. Talk to a trusted friend or family member about your feelings of jealousy. This will help you clear out the toxicity and at the same time may reinforce your confidence. You are unique, special, and loved. You are made of purest cosmic energy. Acknowledge your nobility. Okay, so there's a reminder here. And let me first start off by saying, I don't think that you guys are one of those people who makes a bunch of grunting noises at the gym. I don't think that's you. And if it came across that way, I am so sorry. You're not like that. I'm sure you're not. And here's the thing. This might come off like, Sam, what right off the bat, man, you're just calling me envious. I'm not envious. Like, who am I to be envious of? Sometimes it's very subtle, and we all get envious from time to time, right? You know, what I find useful is to think of it in terms of what envy shows us is something that a greatness that we aspire to, or a quality that we would like to see in ourselves, right? That's that acquisitive part of envy. But we can go a couple of ways with it. Like, we can go towards judgment, or we can go towards discernment. We can go towards envy when we see something in another that we want to see more of in ourselves. Or we can go towards inspiration. And there's a recognition with that little mantra at the end there that, you know, what's really funny is sometimes the people that we're envious of are also envious of us. It's like a straight hair, curly hair thing, you know? People who have straight hair sometimes want curly hair, and sometimes people with curly hair wish that they had straight hair. And these two people can be envious of each other at the same time, right? For this, essentially the same quality. So sometimes we're not even jealous of like the capability of another or something that they have. It's like the energy that they hold, or the panache with which they do something, right? And there's a reminder here that that panache, that brilliant energy, comes from authenticity. It comes from doing something in the unique way that only they can, and that's why they really shine when they do it. So be inspired by others rather than envious, and just when you're noticing it, just shifting it over to say like, okay, hey, I just noticed, you know, like you do with any emotion when you're being mindful of your emotions. I just noticed I got a little envious. Like, let's see what that's about, you know? What am I finding um, what am I finding attractive, truly, is what it is, right? What am I finding attractive about the way that this person is being or doing something? And what does that mean for me? Like, how can I incorporate that into what I do in ways that accentuate my light, right? How can I shine my own light in a similar fashion rather than trying to copy what they do? Because if it's something that they do with, you know, real verve, that comes from the soul, right? Like, that comes from a unique combination of qualities and experiences that you can't copy, right? And you shouldn't necessarily try. There's a reminder that you are unique, and like your special sauce tastes different and more beautiful, you know, than anyone else's, because it's yours. And you know, your guides, your spirit team, your passed over loved ones, your ancestors, your angels, whoever you work with, they don't want to see you become someone else's, like try to become someone else's light. They want to see you shine yours. Anyway, I went a little long on that. Any any more cards from here? Yeah. You're gonna do a spread? No. Kali's awakening. Oh boy. That is an energy and a half. Are we gonna read from the book? No. Okay, so, and we're not doing a spread. All right, I'm just being asked to do this intuitively. Okay, so this jealousy, this envy, can cause us to, like, it can really hijack us. And if it's directed towards one person in particular, um, there can be this, like, this dark part of us, the shadow aspect that wants that wants to wear their skull around your neck, um, that, like, maybe wants to dim that light that they shine, right? But the only reason you would want to do that is because your own light is not shining as brightly, like your own authentic light, and that's jealousy, right? That's the green-eyed monster. I think it's really funny that, because I choose my clothes for these readings intuitively, and I'm wearing my green and blue. Look at that. Look at that. But in the same sense that I don't think you're one of these people who makes a lot of noise at the gym, I also don't I also don't think that you're a four-armed dark goddess catching the blood of your enemies in a bowl. I don't think that's really you. Um, and so there might just be, like, this jealousy, as I said, can be super subtle. It can be in a very quiet place. And we have to attune to it to realize, like, oh, shoot, I'm jealous. Like, I might be a little bit jealous. I might want to spear this person with a trident and drink their blood. Oh, that's weird. Let's see what that's about, you know? I'm laughing because I'm the same. This is just human, This is just a reading that's, it's like, oh, I might be reading for a human being. So don't worry about it. We've all been there. Maybe not in full on Kali mode here, but we all have that dark aspect. Do we want some more from here? No, okay. Good stuff. Going to the book? Cool. All right, guys. So I was looking through my book collection for some readings I could do that would be like, out of copyright. So this is Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. And I will just mention this because I thought about it the other day. I was in the park and I was sitting on a bench and I heard this really young girl, like 3 or 4 years old, talking with her parents. 3, 4, 5? 5, maybe, yeah. And they were doing some sort of scavenger hunt. And they were like, okay, now we need a single blade of grass. And I saw this girl look up at her mom and she was like, what's a blade of grass? It just, like, blew my mind. It is a very strange way to describe a single piece of grass. But yeah, it made me think of Walt Whitman's book, Leaves of Grass. So I was looking through my book collection for particularly poetry that we could do little divinatory readings from. So we've got the starting energy, that is for sure. That's an energy. We're going to see if we can't augment this with some poetry. All right, so I'm just going to flip through this book, and I know that you can't see my face, so you're probably like, Sam rigged this. I'm just going to flip through until I'm intuitively guided to stop, and then with my eyes closed, I'm going to picture the 2 pages in my mind and see what's being lit up, like it's highlighted, and then I'll go where that paragraph is and read from there. Okay, and we'll get you a message. This is something you can do with your own books. If you have a bookcase full of books, just pick the one that shimmers for you. Like, ask your Ask your guides, your spirit team, your highest self, whatever, for some guidance, a message you need to receive at this time, or a message that is for your highest good. Or you can ask about a specific question, but just know that, the broader you go with it, sometimes the richer the information you can get. You get answers to questions that you would never think to ask. But anyhow, yeah, I'm just going to flip through here and see what's for you. I'm getting that it's towards the end, so I'm going to speed up. I'm getting that I missed it. Hang on. All right, let's see. Okay. I think top left, no, top right. We're going to read the whole page. Yes. Okay. Oh, damn. This is quite long. I should have flipped through this book. The secretaries act in their bureaus for you, not you here for them. The Congress convenes every December for you. Laws, courts, the forming of states, the charters of cities, the going and coming of commerce and mails are all for you. That's it. So I'm getting, if I can get the message through with just those 3 lines, then we're good. The secretaries act in their bureaus for you, not you here for them. The Congress convenes every December for you. Laws, courts, the forming of states, the charters of cities, the going and coming of commerce and mails are all for you. Okay, so I think there's probably a temptation on your part, especially if you've already done a lot of healing, you're on a self-improvement kind of, you're walking the walk, you're not just talking the talk, right? And so I know I personally am frustrated sometimes when these emotions come up, and it's been in a blind spot, right? So I should go easy on myself, but it comes up, and then I'm like, well, what the heck? Like I'm better than this. What's happening? I've done a lot of work on this. Why is this coming up? And first thing is that you're human, for sure. Second thing is that maybe this is being orchestrated for you. Maybe this is showing you something, right? Maybe you are being shown something by your spirit guides, by the universe, to say like, hey, did you know this was possible? How does this make you feel? Right? Knowing full well that it will set you off a little bit, right? But that's the point, is to dig into that and see like, okay, I actually didn't know that someone could do this in this particular fashion. And I realized that I have become jealous, which means there's something there that my soul is trying to navigate me towards. Like, yeah, you might just feel like you've done all this healing, and why is this coming up? And it's like, oh, well, it's to show you this, because otherwise, like, you are pretty well rounded, right? And you might not, like, we need an emotion to flag this for you. And jealousy is a really good one. Like in terms of the negative emotions, this is one where, unless you are in full on Kali mode, sabotaging someone or being passive aggressive or whatever, carrying their head around with a bowl underneath to catch the blood, unless you are doing that, jealousy is so productive because it's all internal to you, right? You haven't hurt anybody by realizing that you're jealous. As long as you haven't acted in any way that hurts other people, then, this is like a self-contained thing. And you can be like, oh, well, let's figure out what this is about. And what's my version of this? Because okay, so when I say my version of this thing that I'm jealous of, I think there is a temptation to say, like, how can I copy this? And that's not what's being recommended. It's like, okay, they are shining their light really brightly. Otherwise, I wouldn't be noticing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be jealous. How can I shine my own light in a similarly authentic way, right? Keeping in mind that what is authentic to someone else is not authentic to us necessarily, or ever, because of our true uniqueness as individuals. So it's a reminder. This is sometimes these things are orchestrated for us by the universe to see where there's a knot that we have to untangle. And it's like, with every one of these knots that we untangle in ourselves, if you're on a healing journey, you already know this. With every knot that we untangle, our light shines brighter. And we are closer to that place of radiating so authentically that other people get as triggered as we used to get, for better or worse. And it is for better if they can realize the same lesson, right? If they can take that jealousy to the self-improvement gym rather than hitting the streets with the pitchfork and the necklace of skulls. Oh, I just realized her skirt is severed forearms. Yeah, so we don't need to go all the way there, we don't need to do that. Okay, these ones. No? More from the book? Okay, we're gonna do more from the book. More from this page? No, okay. We're gonna do a reselection. A janky book sleeve here. Getting it's at the front this time, so I'll go slow. Okay. This one? Oh, guys. So I specifically asked to only be shown and given readings that don't give away like the publisher or any of the copyright information, but I'm being asked to intuit something from literally like the copyright page. What does this mean for you? I think it's something about like, you literally can't copy someone else's authenticity. Or don't try to reprint. Yeah, okay, so there's a sense that like, it's silly, right, for me to do the whole like book cover thing because of the editors and the publishers of poetry that was written in the 1800s, as though they have the rights to Walt Whitman's ideas and words. So, you know, in the same sense, it's kind of cheap, right? Like, this is a very cheap book. It's printed on very thin paper. It is like a mass market. It's probably made for like a mandatory book for basic poetry courses in college or in high school. And it's a little bit cheap on the part of it's a little bit inauthentic on the part of the publishers to say that this is somehow their intellectual property, right? When, yeah, the words and ideas are Walt Whitman's, and he's a poet. So there's something here about like not trying to reprint the work of others and stamp it as your own. I'm not necessarily like, guys, I don't know what's going on for you. I don't know. I don't think that you're consciously doing anything like this. I want to throw that out there. I don't think that you're sitting there like, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna copy their homework. But this is a little bit of a stern message from your guides to say that like, hey, you're special. Do you not realize like that your authenticity would outshine whoever you're jealous of here. And you know, it's one of those weird things where they would be jealous of you. They might already be jealous of you for the way that you do things. Okay, so there's encouragement here to like lean into you and the ways that you do things, even if they're strange. Like, look, guys, I watch other readers on YouTube and they're talking constantly and cards are flying everywhere. And, you know, my readings are just, they're not that. I have a different pace and a different style. And if I try to compare myself to them, it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well at all because while there might be things that I admire about them, like, wow, I really admire that flow. Like their channeling flow is so beautiful, or I really love their deep knowledge of the tarot and the symbolism involved on every single card. And I love that they explain it to me, you know, like I really love their thorough style, or I really love, you know, just the verve with which they read. And they have me on the edge of my seat the whole time. You know, I can appreciate these things about them and still know that that's never going to work for me. You know, it's like we just have different styles. And yeah, and there's the description box of every video I publish some other readers, mostly readers who have helped me, other YouTube creators with their messages. And it's a purposeful, real, diverse mix of readers. And by that, I mean just very different styles. They'll speak English, but you know, they all read tarot in a completely unique way to them. And some of them read, you know, the actual tarot, and some are like me and read all kinds of stuff. But every one of them brings something unique to the readings that I learned from, and that inspired me truly. And sometimes for me, it is like jealousy does creep in where I'm like, damn, I want to be like that. And the reminder from my guidance is like, okay, you want to be like that in terms of expressing your unique style, right? And I have to be like, oh, yes, I want to be like that in terms of shining as brightly as that. Maybe I can incorporate some of their approaches, let's say. But I don't actually want to be them, right? I don't want to be reading from their perspective, because I have a whole life of experiences that have built me up to this point. Messages can be expressed through me that they cannot, in ways that cannot be expressed through other vessels. And it's because I am unique, right? And I have to constantly remind myself of that and appreciate that about myself, and remember to lean into that. Yeah. All right, what else, Spirit? Okay, we're ready now for some storytelling cards. The box for these said 3+. So these are for, I presume, people who have had 3 or more spiritual awakenings. That's a joke. But yeah, we'll see what wants to come out from this. Okay, cool. More? Yeah, we're gonna do spread. I don't know what to call this one. Monkey looking excitedly from rear of elephant. This one? Oh. Elephant meeting kindred spirit, perhaps? Boy swinging over crocodile jubilantly. Crocodile looking up mischievously. More? Okay. Oh, it's all coming together, you guys. Oh, sounds like I'm joking, but it's all coming together. More? No. Okay. This is funny. All right, guys. I'm going to marinate on this for a second. I'm going to marinate. I'll be right back. Okay. I had an excellent conversation with your guides. We figured all this out. I was like, I can pull more cards to clarify. And they were like, no. These cards are sufficient. Okay, and we're back again. Remind me in the comments, guys, not to bang on the table. For some reason, it stops the video on my phone. Anywho, check out these fun cards. So the elephant here is you, the vessel. And what's being pointed out right now is that the ego is sort of at the reins of the vessel. And I don't know if you're familiar with the idea of the monkey mind from Buddhism, from again, from India. But the idea of the monkey mind is that it's very easily distracted. Like it sees pretty things, gets distracted, steers the elephant towards that, causes all kinds of carnage. And most people are steered by the ego. It's, again, just human. It's all good. But what the ego needs you to do is to slow the vessel down, meditate a bit, ideally. But whatever you do, look within. Get to a state where your highest self, your guidance, your spirit team, your team, the ones who have your back, who see you as your highest self, who see you in all of your uniqueness and your brightness. Find them, get to a space where you can hear them, talk to them, get quiet enough to hear your own guidance. And what this will do, when done routinely, this will help put you into contact with your inner child. The inner child is super important when we're talking about shining our bright and authentic light, because the inner child is unabashed and bright and beautiful and, will sing and dance at the drop of a hat. The inner child is also our inner genius. Like, this is where all the creativity comes from. When I went to a bookstore because I was guided there to buy cards, it was my inner child that really liked these. That's why I have them. And that's why I'm on this fun adventure with you. So the inner child is going to help you find a way to move forward by swinging over this jealousy, to move past it is really what it is. And it's not just a sidestepping, because what this whole process will do, you'll end up shining your light so brightly and starting to appreciate your own authenticity, realizing like, hey, I can actually do, like, maybe what I do is different, but I can do things that other people can't do. And I can do some things better than I see other people doing things. And maybe I'm pretty damn cool, right? What this whole process will do is it will, like, the jealousy, being the crocodile in the water here, is being brought out of the water, which is like this deep mind, the subconscious realms, that you're not aware of, right? Like we were talking about, this is very subtle, this jealousy, or where it resides, but it's being dredged up out of the water, and it's being dressed up in a little tie and collar, and it's being shown in the light and saying like, hey, jealousy, like, what's up with you? And it's like, well, let me tell you, this is what I like, this is what I'm attracted to, and this is why I was maybe a little triggered. And this is a much nicer way, this is a much kinder way to view your jealousy, and it avoids, this whole energy, which we don't want to end up there. So yeah, it's like, in this story of Kali's awakening, she has this bloodlust, and it's sort of out of her control, right? It's a raw force of nature. In the same way, the green-eyed monster can come through in this way, but the green-eyed monster, not so scary when you got him in a suit and tie out of the water. You can see like this maybe like 6-foot alligator is actually just a little fella, just wanting to be heard, just wanting to point out like, hey, I'm inspired by this, but I don't really know what to do with it, so I kind of interpreted it in a weird way. Oh man, I love these cards. All right, anything else from here? Good. There? Good. All right, we covered it. That was a reading and a half. Thank you for sticking around, guys. I love your energy. None of this is a judgment. We all end up in this energy. What it does is it shows us what our soul is wanting us to do for ourselves. And you're right on track to getting there. Your inner child is a maestro, I'm hearing. Yeah, just like allow your inner child to be the maestro, to be conducting this orchestra, because they are going to produce beautiful music. All right, guys. Love you lots. I will see you in the next one.